This is Hyundai's all-new Elite i20, the successor to the car that set the ball rolling for the format of large hatchbacks with a luxurious edge to them. And well, with this all-new car, Hyundai has made it more luxurious, more spacious, and to see really how good it is, we're pitting it against its closest rivals. That would be Volkswagen's super stylish Polo and the original big hatch, the Maruti Suzuki Swift. It's really easy to think of the Maruti Suzuki Swift as the oldest car in this comparison test. It's such a familiar sight on our roads that you just think it's been around forever. Although the second generation Swift was launched in 2011, this handsome and charismatic hatch was updated recently with mild cosmetic tweaks. In terms of dimensions, it is the tallest, but in terms of length and wheelbase, it is the smallest of this lot. Next we come to the oldest car here. Yes, Volkswagen's Polo. The taut styling of this German hatch has helped it age gracefully. Even today, it stands out from the crowd quite easily, all thanks to its smart and understated air of class. In terms of dimensions, the Polo is the narrowest of the three and also the lowest slung here. But Hyundai's new i20 overshadows both its competitors with its combination of style and size. The new Fluidic 2.0 design language is a lot more impressive because it is more restrained than before. Still, the i20's design is a bit busy. But in terms of size, it is impressive. It is just under 4 meters long, but it has a whopping 1734mm of width and a humongous 2570mm long wheelbase. This has translated into a really roomy cabin, and this is backed up with smart ergonomics. Now, if you had to spend a lot of time in the back seat of one of these cars, the one to pick would be the Elite i20, and here's why. This seat offers you good under-thigh support. It offers you the best knee room here, and while the shoulder line is a bit high and the glass area feels a bit tight, this cabin just offers you this great sense of space. Even 3 abreast would be nice. So long drives, the Elite i20's back seat would definitely be the best pick. The front seats are also very spacious. The dashboard design is really smart, feels like a shrunken down Santa Fe, and that's a good thing. The fit finish and all of that feels really nice too, feels upmarket. Some of the plastics though do feel a bit tough. Not bad, but tough. And at the same time, what I do not like is this brown color, which just kind of feels a bit plasticky. Now when you step into the Polo, it doesn't look as flamboyant, but it makes a strong impression. The fit and finish on the Polo are just impeccable, and now with the facelift you have this silver finish around the center console which gives it that added specialness to it. Overall the design is still understated, but it is classy. In addition, for the facelift has been this new flat bottom steering wheel which just adds this sportiness of it, and it works well with the seating position which is kind of low slung, and well, I'm sure it's something that driving enthusiasts will enjoy. Overall, this feels like a nice and special front seat to be in. Where the Polo suffers is in the back seat. It is really quite cramped here. But it does have the biggest boot of the three, with 294 liters of space. The i20 has slightly less at 285 liters, but is the Swift with the least at 204 liters of storage. Maruti Suzuki Swift is quite cramped in the rear bench as well. But the new update has improved the appeal of the package as it offers a lot more equipment now. The Swift also has a generous set of front seats with a fantastic driving position. But the cabin just can't match the competition in terms of premiumness, whether it is the space or the design. And here's how the three cars compare when it comes to their equipment list. When you look at what's under the hood, the Swift seems to have another small deficit. Its 1248cc engine is the smallest. Even its 74 bhp power figure and 19.4 kilograms of torque are the lowest of this trio. Hyundai's 1.4-litre diesel engine promises more punch. After all, it backs 88.8 bhp of power and 22.4 kilograms of torque. But the most promising specs of the lot are from VW. The Polo has the biggest engine with 1.5 litres of displacement, and it boasts of 89 bhp of power and 23.4 kilograms of torque. But what is the Polo like on the road?
First impressions of Polo's new 1.5 TDI is that it is a bit loud, and it gets louder as you rev it up.
And we were revving it hard to see how it performed in the acceleration test. From a standstill, things were really close between the three till 60 kph. From there on, Maruti started to fall behind. But even at 120 kph, there's barely anything separating the Polo and the i20.
The i20 is really no slouch in a straight line, and what makes it just that little bit nicer is the fact that even when you rev it up, it's the smoothest of the three here. And for daily duties, when you're stuck in stop-go city traffic, you'll appreciate the fact that the clutch is nice and light. But on the downside, its bottom end is a bit weak.
Our India acceleration tests show that the Hyundai i20 isn't particularly peppy at low speeds. The lighter Swift, despite its power deficit, manages to stick really close to the i20. But the real winner here is clear. It's the punchy Polo.
Polo's 1.5 TDI has to be the best all-rounder here. It makes short work of overtaking traffic on the highway and keeping pace at low speeds in the city. But on the downside, the clutch is a bit heavy.
But which one of these three will be able to gain an advantage in the dynamics department? This was a particularly weak point for the earlier i20. But the new car has a wider footprint and looks very confident. But is it actually better?
First, the good news. Dynamically, the Elite i20 is a whole lot better than the outgoing i20. It just hugs the corners better. It feels more planted at higher speeds. So it just ends up inspiring more confidence. But on the downside, there are two shortcomings. One is that it's got a fair amount of body roll, and two, and this is the biggest one, it's the steering. It's just so sloppy.
The Polo also has a light steering, but it is pretty direct and communicative. The Volkswagen still has a slightly soft suspension setup at the front, but it feels more planted than the outgoing 1.2 TDI. But when you're in the mood to drive, the star of the three has to be the Swift.
It's so easy to overlook the Swift because of the familiarity of it, but when you get behind and drive it, it still impresses so much. So the steering is well weighted, it responds in such a nice nippy manner to any inputs, and well, it's more than happy to swing around corners, but at the same time it feels calm and unruffled at triple digit speeds on the highway. Now if only it had more power to take on its more potent competition here.
But how do these cars fare when dealing with our desi roads? The Polo feels pretty good, but at low speeds it has the typically firm European edge. The new i20 is a lot better than before on this count as well.
So the Elite i20 offers you a soft, cushy, low-speed ride. It soaks up bumps a lot better than the outgoing car, and so it is better, more comfortable, but it still doesn't feel as mature and as composed as some of the other cars. It tends to get knocked around. It has a bit of body movement as you go over rougher surfaces.
However, the best package to deal with Indian roads is the Maruti Suzuki Swift.
The Swift suspension setup has to be the best overall because yes, it's nippy and fun to drive, but at the same time it is very adept at dealing with our roads. Really bad potholes from stretches, it'll soak up with a great amount of ease. A small price to pay for that is a bit of suspension noise, but that's exactly that, a small price.
So, how do these cars stack up? Well, the Swift is still a fantastic car to drive and it's the cheapest too. But the problem is that it feels the least premium of the three, be it in terms of features, space, or appeal. The Polo offers a stronger mix. It looks classy, it is well built, well equipped, and its biggest draw is its engine. And if it weren't for its tight backseat, the result of this comparison test would have been different. But as things stand, it gives the advantage to the Hyundai i20. Yes, it isn't the most satisfying car to drive here, but it rounds up space, features, comfort, and practicality in one pleasing package. That too, at a price point that makes it the top package in this comparison test.